Hello friends, Orlando Torresia here, from thinkistorresia.com. Well, in this video we're going to talk about smoking or not smoking in a rental flat. And we're bringing this up because a potential client, a tenant who smokes, believes that the landlord is obliged to repair any damage caused by smoking in the flat. And this is not true. The tenant has rights but also has obligations and responsibilities. Article 1563 of the Civil Code tells us that the tenant is responsible for the deterioration or loss of the rented property, unless they can prove it was not their fault. If the tenant is already telling you that they smoke and will smoke in the house, obviously, if later the flat needs to be painted because it smells of tobacco or the paint has been damaged by nicotine, that is clearly the tenant's responsibility and they will have to pay for it. In addition, as you know, the deposit, according to Article 36 for habitual residents, is 1 month's rent. And the landlord can request any additional guarantee. The maximum monetary guarantee that can be requested is 2 months' rent, in addition to the cash deposit. That means the landlord can ask for 1 month's deposit and 2 months as an additional guarantee. In the case of someone who intends to smoke, it's very common for the landlord to say, well, you can smoke on the terrace, for example, and in the rest of the flat you may even be prohibited from smoking, because the tenant has rights and so does the landlord. The tenant might say, yes, I smoke, and the landlord can say, well, not here, you can smoke on the terrace. And if they breach that or the flat deteriorates, then we go back to Article 1563. The tenant is responsible for the deterioration or loss of the rented property. In addition, the landlord could also ask the tenant for civil liability insurance, because we've seen cases where fires have occurred in the home due to smoking. Or it has happened that, unfortunately, we've seen in the news that people have died from smoking in bed, and their mattress caught fire and they died. So this is a very sensitive issue, the matter of smoking. Of course, the freedom to smoke exists, but freedom has consequences when things happen. So if there is deterioration in the flat, the tenant is responsible for the damage or loss. So if you have any doubts about this, we'll be more than happy to share our experience with you via video call on WhatsApp number 6930-23926. Add +34 if you're contacting us from outside Spain. And see you in the next videos, God willing. Thank you. Have a good day.